Hello and welcome to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. Let's take a look at Amazon. We can see the weekly chart of Amazon here essentially following a very similar pattern to the rest of the stocks in the US market. It had a high in 2021. 2022 has been nothing but down and to the ground. We see that it bottomed here at the end of 2022, and it looks like we've got a little bit of rise here at the beginning of 2023. We can look and see on the daily chart here, it looks like we may be hitting what could be a potentially bullish breakout. We can at least see what looks like potentially a base around $90. We've broken through that resistance at 100. Maybe we use that as support and we rocket higher here on Amazon. Now looking at the daily sentiment, we can see it's essentially around 50%. This indicator gives you a reading of the bullish or bearish sentiment of the price action. Right now at 50%, we can see that it is currently under the moving average, but we wouldn't expect to see any big move in either direction at the moment. Now looking at the weekly sentiment, we can see that the weekly is very aggressively bullish, going from at 45% up to 50% in just a week. That is a great sign if it was followed by a nice move higher, which it looks like it was. We can see that volatility in the volume is falling. We had pretty much flatline volume for a long time until what is probably either when Jeff Bezos left or some big change in the quarter, something, but we've gotten a humongous breakout in volume recently for Amazon. We can see it on the daily volume. It looks relatively the same, pretty much unchanged. We're doing under 100 million. Looks like we're averaging somewhere a little under 58 or 60 million, so probably about 55 million shares traded each day. Not too much if you ask me for a stock that's worth this much. Let's go ahead and look at the daily volatility for Amazon here. We can see the volatility is rising slightly while the correlation appears to start beginning to fall. So if it is falling while correlation is rising, price should actually fall. But if volatility starts to fall, while correlation is falling, then price would rise. So we'll just have to look back and see over the next few days here. We can see the weekly volatility. Volatility continues to fall while correlation starts to fall. So if volatility is falling while correlation is falling, price should rise. Let's look at the non-sentiment trade range here. The only negative thing I could say so far is that Amazon appears to be at the top of its weekly range. The top of its weekly range is somewhere around $110. It is at 106 as of the end of last week. So it looks like we could definitely be hitting the top of our range, and we're hitting the top of the range on both the weekly and the daily. That's not necessarily a great sign when you think about the fact that when you have things that set up that way, it's either going to be incredibly bullish or most likely incredibly bearish for a short period of time. You could easily go down to 95 on the daily, or we could go down to 79 on the weekly. That's just how it looks so far on Amazon. Let's go ahead and look at the raw data. The raw data for Amazon here, what we can see, essentially we've had a go long signal. It looks like we've had a series of go long signals really since in here, what looks like to be the middle of March. So March 16th through about the end of March is where we really got a lot of go long signals. We can see that we got positive 5-day rolling, positive 15-day rolling, positive 1 month rolling, positive 3 month rolling, as well as seeing price above its 5-week, the 5-week above its 20-week, as well as price above its 20-week moving average or 20-day moving average. So that's generally all positive. If you're ever interested in building something similar to this trade ticker telescope that I essentially show each day in my show for daily actives, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a course for you. There's actually the very first video to show you how to pull in a bunch of this data is going to be linked at the very end of this video. If you like it, check it out. If you don't, leave a comment below and let me know how your day is and what you think about this stock. Talk to you soon.